Hey, how's it going? And I'm excited to bring you this tutorial. Actually, I'm going to be bringing a series of tutorials on animation. That's what we're going to be getting into for the next couple months. And we're looking at Move.AI specifically because it seems to be a reasonable motion capture solution, relatively reasonable. It's got some issues, but it's better than some other systems. And it's kind of in the mid-range of cost, maybe anywhere from $500 to $1,000 versus $4,000 to $5,000 for other systems. So anyway, what I've done is they give you 2 free minutes of animation to play around with, which is, I think, good because you probably do want to make sure you can get the animations into the system and work with them before you commit to the $365 annual fee, which gives you 6 hours of animation, which is a lot. So anyway, we're going to go and import in. If I come down here, we're going to import in the animation that I rendered out. It's just a 35 seconds long. And so when this comes in, it's going to want to connect up to, so when you come out of, when you're rendering in Move.AI, it'll ask you if you want to target your animation to a rig, and they already have some Unreal rigs in there. One of the mannequins I couldn't get to work, but the Quinn rig I was able to. So that's what I rendered out, was the Quinn. So this is what the mannequin skeleton. And then you do have to set the custom sample rate at 60, and that should be it. And hopefully I don't get an error, so I'll go import. And now it's going to bring in the animation that I did in Move.AI with 3 cameras. Now this particular animation is pretty darn janky or wonkified, whatever. So here it is. It came in, which is great. But let's take a look at it. Now this is the 3rd-person template, so it's kind of awkward for me to get down there and look at it. But let's see what I can do. There we go. So it's supposed to be this mannequin like comforting another mannequin, like touching their head right there. And then the mannequin's going to turn around and walk away. This is a very simple. But you notice how the hands are going into the thighs, the upper thighs there. But I think that can be fixed. So that's the whole animation right there. And see how janky that is in the very beginning? Coming out of T-pose, how all the rotations and everything are off. But then it settles down. But then I have some of that overlap going on. But I think I can fix that with simple rotation. But I don't need this whole animation is what I don't need. So I want to just re-record it, just the portion of it, not the whole part of the T-pose coming in and all that part. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So we'll hit escape and we'll double click into our animation, and here it is. So up here is the animation playing, and there's our skeleton rig. And we can come in here and find our bones and keyframe in those. I'll do a tutorial on that. But what I'm interested in doing right now is just recording the section of animation that I want. I don't want this whole animation that I rendered out. So if we look at the animation, one thing you can do is if you hit Control and scroll wheel, you can kind of zoom out here on your timeline here. So this looks like it's about, gosh, it's hard to tell. Well, these are our keyframes here. So I'm just trying to figure out where I want to come in. So let's just say right about 450, okay? And then I want to go out at, I can just let it go to the end. So 2070, I can pretty much let it go to the end. Now what's weird about the recording is that it's in real time. So you got to kind of be on the spot. So when you hit record, what's going to happen is it's going to start playing. I'm going to hit record, and then it's going to freeze it at the frame I hit record at, and then it's going to want to ask me where I want to store it. As soon as I say where I want it to be stored at, the file to be stored at, it's going to start recording in real time, and it'll keep going until I press stop. So you got to kind of be on your game here when you're doing this. So we're going to go ahead and hit play, and then I'm going to hit record right around the 450 mark. So that's going to ask me where I want to store it. I'll just store it at the content level. We'll leave it all that. I'll leave it called new animation. And once I go OK, it's going to start recording the animation. So now it's recording. And like I said, we're pretty much let it go to the end. So once it gets to the end, I'll hit stop. So I do think this Move.AI is pretty promising. But I do think you're going to have to do some adjustments in here to really get it polish it up a little bit. So I'll hit stop right there. So now I've got just the animation that I want. And right here I can go open new animation. So I thought I could open it. Let me stop here. Let's come over here, and here's my new animation. Now I still have the old animation on here, so let me go ahead and delete that from the scene and drag the new animation on. Now if I hit play, I've just got that animation that I want right there. It's, like I said, it's hard to see it because I'm in the third person here. But you see, we missed that whole awkward beginning part. See? And that's how you re-record an existing animation. Now in the next tutorial, I'll show you how to keyframe the arms and hands so that they're not overlapping each other like that, because that certainly takes away from the effect. But anyway, that's all I had for today, so take care, and I'll talk to you next time.